Hello and welcome back to the weekly warm-up, where every week I share free exercises to help you grow your vocal technique and know your voice better. Now today's exercise is called the candle blow, and it can be a great simple breath exercise. You can also use it as a tool to help you iron out some of those wobbly or saggy final notes of phrases. I think you know the ones that I mean. So let's begin. I'm going to just stand at an angle so you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding out my arm, and then this finger is going to be an imaginary candle. So what I'm going to do is just blow the candle, and I'm going to try to imagine that I'm making the flame flicker the whole time that I'm blowing. I'm not going to give a big burst and extinguish the candle completely. I'm just going to keep a nice steady flow, and you might even be able to feel that on your finger. So inhale and blow your candle. When your tank is empty, release the muscles of the back, release the throat, release the belly, let the air come in and down, and go again. And release your air in. Beautiful. Now before we go again, I want to give you a few cues to feel. Number one, I want you to be striving for an upward movement of air as you exhale. So we're really feeling like we release down in the belly. We've got a sensation of dropping as we let the air in on inhalation. And then we are engaging our air up and out, starting with that kind of knitting together of the muscles of the low belly to help propel that air upward and outward, really supporting that diaphragmatic function. Then as we blow, you might be able to feel on your finger that the air is nice and steady. I'm not allowing the tap here in my throat to tighten as I get close to the end of the air. I just continue to engage until the tank is empty, and then the flow stops. So really, I'm trying to keep the flow as generous until the very last instant, rather than letting it sort of dwindle and squeeze at the end. So try that one more time with me. We're going to inhale, let the belly drop, let the back open, and then I'm going to gather up the belly muscles, engage there, and think of the breath moving upward and outward as I blow my candle and make the flame flicker. Here we go. Inhale and blow. Great. Now I'm going to add a little bit of phonation to that. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to think about continuing to blow, but now adding a little bit of ooh to the tone. Notice that I'm not switching to ooh. I'm really continuing to think of this as blowing. And you may sense that the tone is rather breathy or that you're sort of wasting air. That's totally fine. I would much rather have you do that than to switch over into a very kind of condensed ooh kind of tone. And you'll know if this is happening because if you're kind of condensing the tone, suddenly your ooh will last twice as long as your blow did. So let's just try and keep the same speed and volume of airflow that you just had on the blow and just add a little ooh to it. Drop the breath in and go. Ooh. One more, drop the breath and go. So that's the basic concept, and you can enlist that idea of blowing the candle anytime you're in a part of a phrase that needs a little bit more love. Probably that part is the final note. So you get to the end of the hymn, and shall be evermore. Right, go ahead and think about blowing the candle as you sustain that last note. You can also do it in the middle of the phrase. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a vocal exercise here where you can experiment with it, but you can absolutely take what we've already done and just apply that to your singing. So if we were to sing an arpeggiated downward scale, so no, do, sol, mi, do, and then we're going to go back up the scale. So have a listen to the pitches. No. So we're going to go down and then back up. And as you do this, I would love for you to think about blowing the candle. You can even keep the finger out if you want to, not totally required. But think about blowing the candle, especially on the bottom note, right on that low do, as you travel through it, really blow the candle, activate some air. Those sort of low notes or stopping points in the middle of a phrase tend to be very underloved in terms of breath. And then also on your top note, don't let your vibrato get all out of control. Don't let the muscles tighten up. Just continue to feed the air until the end. So here's our starting note. Inhale. So you've got the idea. You can, of course, continue to move throughout the range, but you've now done the candle blow. I hope this will be useful to you and a little fun. Thanks for practicing.